Amber, what are you doing? What's all this stuff for?
This week I've come prepared in case you start the set on fire like you did last week with these shop lights. They're such a safety hazard.
All right, I'll admit it. These things are kind of a joke, you know? I mean, they were cheap and you really get what you pay for, so...
Yeah, well, they're meant to work on cars, not for the studio work that we're doing.
Okay, you know, we really need some professional lights. We do a lot of filmmaking and videography.
And photography. We could use some good lights for that.
Definitely so. Maybe something with barn doors or a few accessories.
Yeah.
That'd be good. You know, who can we turn to? Who can we talk to about this?
Come with me, my children of the digital age, and I will lead you to the answers you seek.
Which lighting kit is right for me? Fluorescent, tungsten, or flash? First, identify which type of image acquisition you will be doing. Filmmaking, videography, interviews, chroma key, indoor product shots, portraits, still photography, and stage lighting all have very different requirements for optimal results. Tungsten halogen continuous lighting has been used in movie and television production for many decades. It is capable of delivering very high brightness output. It was easily adopted during the DV revolution, where small, lightweight portable lighting kits came into high demand and are available from manufacturers such as ARRI, Lowell, and Brightech. Tungsten halogen production bulbs create a 3200 degree Kelvin indoor light source. Fluorescent continuous lighting is a relatively new product being used for movie, video, and still photo production today. It is widely considered the best overall lighting source for production. It delivers a smooth, warm, highly diffused light source, which is almost always the most desirable type of light source for video and still photography production. Fluorescent bulbs are extremely efficient, requiring only 1/4 of the electrical current of tungsten to achieve an equivalent brightness. Their greater efficiency results in a bulb that runs completely cool. Heat generation from the bulb is negligible. Professional fluorescent bulbs come in both indoor and outdoor Kelvin ratings, making them, in most cases, the superior choice for movie, video, and still photography production work. Flash strobe lighting is used exclusively for still photography. It produces a burst of light in sync with the camera's shutter. Professional flash lighting creates a daylight Kelvin light source for optimal color and contrast dynamic range. We believe that continuous daylight fluorescent lighting makes flash strobe lighting obsolete because it has the advantage of being a continuous light source, making setup much easier than with flash and requires no trigger sync to the camera. There are two categories of production lighting: continuous and flash strobe, which, as their names describe, create either a constant, always-on source or a quick burst of bright light. There are two Kelvin temperatures used in production lighting: tungsten halogen at 3200 degrees Kelvin, referred to as indoor, and daylight or outdoor at 5600 degrees Kelvin, which are available in several different bulb technologies. The halogen bulbs you get at a hardware store are not production-accurate Kelvin color temperatures, usually around 2700 K for halogen, and most of the new Edison-based fluorescent bulbs are under 4800 K. So don't count on using a big hardware box store as a supplier for bulbs anytime soon. Always acquire your bulbs from a production lighting supplier. The daylight Kelvin temperature bulbs offer the best lighting source you can get due to their broad color spectrum. Flash strobe lighting delivers a burst of daylight temperature light somewhere between 5000 and 6500 degrees Kelvin. Achieving continuous lighting at the same color spectrum as the sun has traditionally been a costly proposition and was usually achieved with very expensive special bulbs called HMI. Tungsten halogen lighting at 3200 degrees Kelvin has become the industry standard for decades now because of its affordability. While very usable at 3200 K, it does not render as wide a dynamic color range as 5600 degree Kelvin daylight temperature sources. Fluorescent bulb technology has progressed, allowing daylight Kelvin bulbs to be produced, which has changed everything. Daylight Kelvin fluorescents allow you to get all of the advantages of the daylight color spectrum in a continuous soft lighting source for the same price as tungsten halogen lighting. Daylight temperature fluorescent systems serve the still photographer and the videographer in a single kit, so for the most part, flash strobe systems are obsolete. Let's talk about heat and power consumption. A typical 20-amp circuit breaker in your fuse box can handle a draw of about 2,500 watts safely without blowing. A tungsten bulb's brightness has traditionally been directly associated with the amount of electrical current it uses. As an example, a 1K or 2K, 1,000 or 2,000 watt lamp. All tungsten halogen bulbs get very hot, so hot in fact, that extreme caution must be used when using them to avoid serious accidents.
Mr. P, why did you leave me here all alone? I'll never find true love again.
Amber, baby, that was brilliant. You were fabulous. I love the way your skin just glows underneath these tungsten lights, too.
Oh, well, that's good, but I'm kind of hot. Is my hair on fire?
Hair on fire? No, you're fine. Don't be silly.
Oh, well, what about my makeup? Is it melting?
Well, a little bit, but I can fix that. Let me adjust this light.
Okay.
Tungsten lighting will heat up a studio as fast as any portable heater. Additionally, tungsten halogen bulbs require a substantial amount of electrical current to work properly. But keep in mind that these types of bulbs have been in use for many decades now, so with proper handling, tungsten bulbs do a great job for movie makers and videographers. Fluorescent bulbs, on the other hand, are extremely efficient in comparison to tungsten.
All right, go ahead and give me that beautiful smile. There you go. Tip your head. Oh, perfect. Love it. You know, I just love these fluorescent lights. I finally found something that can make you look good.
Right, Patrick.
Well, it's these fixtures, you know? They're just, the quality of the light is just really smooth and warm and no shadows. I just love it.
That's true. And I really like them too because they keep the studio nice and cool and they don't dry out my eyes. They're great. Oh, and you know, we could really use them for everything. Photography, filmmaking, and videography.
That we can. All right, let's do a few more.
Okay, I'm ready.
Smile with you.
They produce light using only 1/4 of the electrical current of tungsten halogen lighting. This has many benefits, especially with regard to heat generation. Fluorescent lighting runs substantially cooler indefinitely. This means that fluorescent bulbs will last a very long time, usually around 5,000 to 10,000 hours, while tungsten bulbs will require replacing much more often, usually around 25 to 300 hours, because of the dramatic heating and cooling that takes place with every use. Fluorescent bulbs are now available in daylight Kelvin temperatures, which is great news for almost every type of image acquisition there is. Finally, let's talk about LED production lighting. LED is a relatively new technology being introduced to the production lighting world. Arguably, LED fixtures will become the prominent type of lighting used in digital acquisition of all kinds.
Mr. P, why did you leave me here all alone? I'll never find true love again.
Oh, Amber, baby, you are brilliant. And you look
Great.
fabulous underneath these lights.
I really like the LED lights. The studio stays nice and cool.
Yeah, and all that makeup you wear doesn't even melt off.
All that makeup. Patrick, make yourself useful. Go adjust that light.
No problem. I can do this, and I don't even have to wear gloves.
Frankly, the only drawback to LED at this time is its high price. But as with everything electronic, that will more than likely change over time. Unlike all other production lighting technologies, LEDs do not utilize a fragile bulb to create light. Instead, a light-emitting diode soldered to a circuit board with a focusing lens installed in front of it generates and directs the light source. The main advantage of LED fixtures are that their size to output ratio is very small in comparison to that of all other lighting types, and they generate almost no heat whatsoever. These two factors, heat generation and being bulbless, result in a light that will last well over 100,000 hours and is impervious to moisture or severe impact, or just about anything you can throw at it. Using LED lighting is a little different than traditional lighting, but once you figure it out and find the budget for these babies, you'll be hard-pressed to want to use any other type of light source. What is the life expectancy of the bulbs? Always carry extra bulbs with your lighting system, regardless of which type of bulb you use. Fluorescent bulbs are rated at 10,000 hours. They are far more robust with regards to handling while turned on than tungsten bulbs. Providing you do not drop the bulb, they should last well over 5 years with everyday use and handling in a portable environment. Tungsten halogen bulbs usually last around 200 to 300 plus hours, depending on how they are handled. However, it is important to note that because tungsten halogen bulbs run so hot, the extreme heating up and cooling down that occurs with every use makes predicting precise bulb life almost impossible. Fixtures that are permanently installed in a studio will have optimal life, while fixtures used on a set, where it is necessary to frequently move and adjust the fixture while the light is turned on, will yield a substantially reduced bulb life. Always remember that you should wait a few minutes for a bulb to cool down before moving it.
I'm in heaven. Look at all these new lights that we have.
They're awesome. I especially love the accessories, like the barn door. It gives you so much flexibility and control. The softbox is pretty nice, and I especially love this LED light. It doesn't heat up, so it doesn't melt off my makeup. It's great.
Well, that would be a good thing, but what I really like with these lights is the speed in which we can set them up. I mean, we're rolling in no time. And the results, I mean, that last video, that was really professional.
Yeah.
Nowhere near what we got with those last lights. I mean, you really do get what you pay for. And no more setting the studio on fire.
Well, that's good because I don't even know how to use this thing.